Well, it's summertime, it's hot, the sun is out, people are at the beach, people are hanging out in the yard. We're outdoors a lot more. And that's the good news. But the bad news is we really have to be careful of the sun. We have to watch our skin. And that's for adults, young people, old people, people of all ages. Skin cancer is real, it's a big problem. It affects a lot of people. So, if you want to know more about this, please just stay tuned. Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome to Scan FYI. My guest today is none other than the one and only Vinny Smith from Braven Health. Hey, Vinny, how are you?
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing really well. And, for someone who might not know who you are, why don't you just give a little brief overview of who is Vinny Smith and what's he doing here?
Okay. Vinny Smith is actually a retired educator, uh, teacher, coach, administrator. Got bored, but I majored in health education. So I wound up finding a wonderful job with Horizon Blue Cross Blue Shield. And now I'm with the Braven department, which is senior citizen, which is the Medicare part. And I'm still doing my health education, as you can see. I'm sitting right here before you. So basically, that's about me.
All right. Well, look, Scan, we never stop educating people. That's honestly, that's our mission. Vinny's been a frequent guest on FYI. He's always got something good to say. And today we are talking about skin cancer. And hey, don't turn away from this because this affects everyone, including both of us on the screen. So, Vinny, I know you have a story, an interesting one.
I do. I can start off by saying that just because you're maybe a senior now, 65 or older, and you say, oh, I haven't had it yet, I'm not going to get it. Wrong.
Wrong.
What happens is that when we have been out in the sun and we've had sunburns, we do DNA damage. And if you're out there again, you might be just getting a tan, but not a burn and everything, but it can activate it. And what happens, and it happened to me 4 months ago. I haven't had a sunburn. I can't tell you the last time I had a sunburn. And I got a very unusual melanoma skin cancer under the toenail of my left big toe. That's most common in Caribbean male blacks. I'm very happy to say that I got it and I caught it early because of screening. And at our age, the screening is just as important as not getting overexposure in the sunlight and getting a sunburn.
Right.
Now,
Right.
can you go once in a while a little bit and get a tan? Yeah, you can do that. But if you had it before, you had sunburns before, you already have DNA damage. And just so you know, there are only two cancers that keep increasing in number of every year, and skin cancer is one of them.
Yes.
Rest of the cancers have gone down dramatically, but skin cancer is it keeps increasing every year.
So at a recent Lunch and Learn, we had one of your colleagues, Melissa Damchevska,
Yes.
and she actually talked about skin cancer and something I did not know, and I'm willing to bet a lot of people didn't know, is if you had a sunburn, maybe you were 12 years old, maybe you were 15 years old, but you've had one or more severe sunburns, you dramatically up your chances, sadly, of getting a skin cancer as an adult. That I think a lot of people did not know.
Again, yes, I agree with you 100%. And Melissa is my co-partner, health educator like I am. And I was out because of my melanoma case,
Yep.
my big toe. So she came down. I know she did a great job, but she had a great point there. And that's why it's so important to get screening, especially if you had like any sunburns in the past. You definitely want to go for your screening. Now, is it covered by medical insurance? Yes, it
Yes.
is. Okay. So why not get it done? Why not make sure everything is good? Because there's other type of skin effects that they can find during that screening that you may not be aware of. It. We don't think about our skin. We think about how how's my breathing, how's my sleep, and things along like that. And we forget about our skin because it's honest, and and you think it just goes along with you. Well, it's something you better be aware of. Totally.
Well,
You
I
know,
guess unless you physically see something that just doesn't look right, I agree. We're not thinking
yep,
about our skin on a, hour by hour like we are thinking about other things. We just
exactly.
kind of assume that everything is fine.
Well, you can even do self screening. You can look at everything on your skin. And if you have a mole, because melanoma usually occurs in a mole, but not all the time, but about 98% of the time, if you have a mole, the mole will change and it will change in size, shape, color, and form. Now it will get a little bit bigger than what it was. Okay, the shape will get distorted, the edges will get rough. The color will be light brown, dark brown, red, sometimes even little white specks in it, like that. But the whole idea is that if you see something that changes on your skin, you get to a dermatologist right away.
Yeah.
And just do it once a year. Make it something that you do every year, once a year. And again, like I said, any insurance will cover it.
I feel like it's something you go to the doctor for your annual wellness checkup, when we get our mammograms, we get whatever tests we need to get. I feel like, I mean, I learned the lesson too that a screening has to be part of your annual checkup. It just does. I had a very little bump on the side of my nose. I'm guessing I had it for years. I don't even, and I went to the dermatologist for a totally unrelated reason. And I said, while I'm here, would you mind looking? And she was like, that doesn't look good to me. And sure enough, it was a basal cell,
Mm-hmm.
but it,
That's
it had to
the
go.
basal cell and squamous cell. The difference between basal cell and squamous cell is very little. They both stay on the surface of the skin. Okay, they will not kill you. Melanoma goes
Right.
into the body, it goes into the skin, it goes into the bloodstream, it goes into the lymph nodes, it spreads through organs in your body, and you may not even be aware of it. So that's why that screening is so important. But
Definitely.
let's talk about some preventions. How about that?
Yes, because we don't want to get to the point of having these issues. So what do we need to do?
Well, the first thing right off the bat is no sunburns, no tanning salons. That
Yes.
was a big,
Yes.
big thing a couple of years ago when the kids were going, the adults were going, and they were basically cooking themselves. And what I used to say is, why do they put those purple
The
things on your
goggles on your eyes.
oh, because they'll burn? Oh, yeah, well, of course. And so will your skin, you know. And I actually, when I was doing a presentation at a high school up in Bergen County, a young lady came to me in the office and said, "Can I be a model for you?" She was so blistered and so red. She had second degree burns. That's what that was. Those blisters indicate a second degree burn. If your skin peels, you have burnt yourself to a second degree. And if it becomes charcoal, that's third degree. That's ridiculous. But if you fall asleep on a beach and you don't have any other preventions, and here's the other preventions. Wear a hat. Keep the sun off your face as much as you can. Okay. Now, they make special summer type things where they're long sleeve. They're not
Yeah,
you look at them and go, why do you got long sleeves on? They don't want to get sunburned. They are created to stop the ultraviolet rays to go in. Thus, they're also stopping the heat to go in. And you can wear your shorts, and you can even go without the shirt if you don't want to. Okay, but the whole idea is that now the big prevention is sunblock. And here's the problem with sunblock: SPF, sun protection formula, no less than 30, SPF 30. Don't go higher than 50 because anything over 50 is a lot more money. It's only about a 2%
yeah.
increase in protection. So put SPF 30 to 50 on. Now, if you have sensitive skin, you can get it where there is certain zinc and things like that that aren't in it. Ask you go to a drugstore and ask the dentist in the drugstore.
Not
There
the
is
dentist, right?
drugstore. Ask the person behind the counter, is this good for sensitive skin? And they'll let you know because they know what's in the ingredients. But put it on before you get into the sun.
Right,
Don't
right.
get out of the car at Belmar, unpack the trunk. We're already in the sun. It's already coming on you. Now you're picking everything up. You're walking down to the beach. You're setting up. Put it on around 15, 20 minutes before you're going to go out in that sun, especially like if you have your own pool in your backyard or you know you're going to be out in the sun to go watch a ball game or something like that. Put it on before you get there. It's a compound that has to fit the skin. If you put it on while it's wet, it's going to come off. Here's another thing.
That makes
If you
sense. Yeah.
perspire, if you perspire, you want to take a walk aboard the beach, that's fine. You got your hat on, you got your clothing that's appropriate. All it the skin is covered with sunblock, but you're going to start to perspire. And when you perspire, what do? You do that stuff. It will also come off by itself. It will lose its strength because of the perspiration that will
And
force
how
it off
about
the
when you
skin.
when you go in the
And you
water?
wipe it off. Yeah. And the same thing occurs in the water.
Yeah.
Now, especially salt water, because you have turbulence, you have the salty brine of the water that basically just rubs it right off you. Chlorine will take it off you real quick. So even if you go in a pool and it has chlorine, make sure when you come out, you dry off and reapply. And
Reapply.
that's your basic preventions. They're not hard. If we can just adhere to them, we'll be much better off and won't be suffering from any skin cancer.
I feel like one mistake that people do make all the time is not reapplying. They put it on, and they're out for hours, they're swimming, they're sweating, and thinking that they're getting the same level of protection as when they put it on 4 hours ago. You're not. You have to reapply.
No. And I'll also give you another misnomer. So you go down to the beach and you put the umbrella on. You make sure the sun is not coming down on you. Okay, that's nice. But the problem is that the ultraviolet rays of the sun will refract off the sand and the water
Yes.
underneath that umbrella. And everybody will say, like, well, I was underneath my umbrella. How did I get burned? And that's because the sun's rays refracted off the sand and the water and went up underneath it. So, yes, you're keeping the heat of the sun off you with the umbrella. That's a good thing. Okay. But you still got to have the sunblock on, even if you're going to stay underneath that umbrella and you don't take a walk, you don't go in the water. And here's the other thing, it's not meant to stay on your skin for a long time. Every 2 hours, reapply. Okay. And this way you make sure you keep the protection up.
One of the reasons that, I mean, I've come to learn this, that we see skin cancer in more older adults is because the sunburn and all the damage happened years ago when we were young. As you said, Vinny, it didn't happen because I was at the beach last week. This is years in the making, damaging your skin. And
Yep.
unfortunately, it chooses to show itself as you get older.
Absolutely. And that's basically what happened with me.
Yeah.
And mine was drastic. You would see if you have a melanoma, and let's say it's on your shoulder, okay? What they would do is they will make a wide incision. They'll make sure they get the perimeter much wider than what the melanoma is because they don't want it to spread. Now that's right there in the skin. They zip you up and you're on your way. You're okay. My case, it was underneath my toenail, found by accident by my foot doctor. Okay. She noticed it, got a biopsy. Um, and now I had to get it out. But the problem was that it's in such a delicate place, and they were worried that it was in the bones and they were going to have to cut the toe off. Fortunately, it wasn't. It was caught early enough. It was only stage two. Okay, but I lost my nail, and then they put this stuff Integra, which is artificial skin, on top of it after they took out all the cancer. But they didn't get all the cancer because I had to go back for a second one. They were doing the best not for me to lose my toe. So there was
Right.
just a little piece left in there, but they had to go back in and get it. And then they took the Integra off, and then they did a skin graft. And it threw my balance off. That's the difference with me, is that most people don't realize that your toes are very instrumental in keeping your balance. And
Yes,
I
that's
had that
right.
toe all banged up in the surgery and stuff. I lost my balance and I was having a problem. And I couldn't walk right. I was on a platform type shoe. So my toe wouldn't be on the ground, just the middle of my heel would be on it. So don't go through things like that. Be smart. Use the preventions. Make sure you get screened every year and stay very aware of it.
The other very important thing to remember is regardless of light skin, dark skin, any color skin,
Yeah,
anybody can get skin cancer, right, Vinny? It's
abs-
not only light
absolutely.
skin, fair skin. You can be absolutely dark, have lots of melanin in your skin, you can still get it. So
Hmm.
everyone needs to, deal with prevention. Everyone.
Exactly. No doubt about it. New Jersey ranks number two in the nation for melanoma.
Well,
You
that's
know
not
who
really
number
a
one
good
is?
distinction. Oh my God.
What state is number one? Arizona.
Arizona. I was going
Yep.
to say Florida. Okay. Well,
Oh,
again,
Florida is number three. They're
it's
pretty
not.
smart there in Florida,
Uh,
and they're number three. But New Jersey's number two, and Arizona is number one. I don't
I
want
know.
to be. I want to be number 50.
Yes, I agree with you. And the thing is, you said earlier, I'm going to repeat this, that skin cancer is one of the cancers that has been increasing year by year by year.
Yes.
That's not good. That's telling me we are not doing a good job taking care of our skin. And if you're parents and grandparents, you have to really watch the kids because the problem is not going to happen till they get older. And you don't want them to have a problem like Vinny had or like I had. No.
Exactly. Great point to reinforce.
Yeah. So listen, the bottom line, everybody out there, watch yourself in the sun. You can't avoid it. It's out there, but there's things we can do, right? So let's do those.
Absolutely.
Vinny, thank you so much, and thank you for sharing your story because not a good story, but I'm glad it had a happy ending.
Thank you very much for having me. Bye, everybody. Be well. Be safe.
All right, remember out there, if it's important to you, it's important to us. I'm Andrea Tarr. We'll see you next time on Scan FYI. Bye, everyone, and bye, Vinny.
Bye bye.